songwriting's cool. It just moves, you know. It just finds its own path.
The best song you've ever written.
It's one of them.
Currently on the shelf at this record label.
This guy is genius. He's on another level. I want to be on this level.
If you had to pick one show, the best show, the most proud you've been, what was that show? From South Bend to Evansville and everywhere in between, this is Get In, the show focused on the Hoosier State and the incredible stories happening here today. I'm Nate Spangle, founder of Get Indiana, and I will be your host for today's conversation. Mark your calendar, we're headed down to Brown County on July 26th for Hard Truth Bourbon and Barbecue Festival. Get ready for a smoky, savory, and spirited weekend at Hard Truth in Brown County. Join me at Hard Truth Distilling Co. the weekend of July 25th and 26th for an unforgettable celebration of bourbon, barbecue, and good times. We've got live music rocking from 9 until noon with 4 different acts, bourbon and barbecue tastings and pairings, bourbon blending and cocktail crafting classes, as well as a VIP bourbon and cigar lounge. They also have interactive competitions and outdoor activities, bourbon barrel roll races, barbecue toss and cornhole tournaments, $10 entry for a $300 prize. If you're a good cornhole player, hit me up, let's join up. And they have axe throwing as well. Me and my team are going to be down there, and I will be releasing a full weekend itinerary for Nashville/Brown County that is guaranteed to be a great time. Tickets for the Hard Truth Bourbon and Barbecue Fest start at $10 for general admission. That gets you entry into the festival, the live music, and pay-as-you-go food and drink. For $35, you can get the barbecue sampler pass, tastings from all the barbecue competitors. Or for $75, you can get the VIP ticket where you get VIP lounge access, premium bourbon tastings, and a guided distillery tour by master distiller Brian Smith, previous guest of the show. I will see y'all in Brown County the weekend of July 25th and 26th. Now let's get into the episode. Today I'm joined by Clayton Anderson, an Indiana-born country singer-songwriter whose career was sparked by winning Kenny Chesney's Next Big Star competition in 2008. He's originally from Bedford, Indiana, and his music blends Midwestern roots with country pop energy. Today we're going to be learning about his musical journey over the past, 15 plus years. Holy smokes.
Pretty wild, ain't it?
Yeah, right. And the decision to open these 2 spots and what we can expect. And we're going to wrap up talking a little bit about what life was like growing up in Bedford, Indiana, baby. Clayton, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Love what you do. Big follower, big watcher, big listener.
Love I
what you're
appreciate that, dude. It's fun. And it's cool to uncover all sorts of stories, whether they be, oh my gosh, from business to tech to, today, country music. I'm really excited. I actually just released Matt Mason.
Yeah.
Talk about a wild story.
Yeah.
He lives down in Nashville now, and he doesn't come back home as much. So it was my first ever virtual one, and he just pulls up. He's like on a side-by-side out in the middle of the woods, just like talking to me. And he's a really interesting cat. Had like a really long, story, and really talked about, the business behind music and what it takes to make it. And it's hard, man.
It's brutal.
And
it's probably the hardest business ever.
After, the rise of TikTok and Instagram, it's like everyone, like people who used to just be like hometown celebrities, like now they can go viral on Instagram and like maybe be someone.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think that you can snap of your fingers, you can go from playing to your mirror in your bedroom to you can play 3,000 seat theaters. You can get to a stadium in a year. You used to have to build up for so long to be a stadium band, and now in a 3-4 year run, you could be playing a stadium.
It's like, you come back. Well, I think about Morgan Wallen. Mm-hmm. Like he came through, and I remember at 8 Second, this was 2019. He was playing 8 Second. And the next time he came back, he sold that Ruoff.
Pretty crazy.
Like, what?
It's crazy.
Like that's granted. There was a COVID year in there where people didn't have much to do except listen to music, but still.
It doesn't matter. COVID. It's not even an excuse. It's just, it can happen like that. Tomorrow. It's
like
just
Chapel
crazy.
Roan now.
Yeah.
She's like everywhere.
I know.
Like, that's nuts. So
she's just out there playing in the backyard to no one, and then bam, here it is.
There's like countless examples of that, but there's even more examples of like people who just grind through the industry for years and years and years. And if we look back, your career, the first real launch pad into country music was in 2008, and that was Kenny Chesney's Next Big Star.
Yeah.
Which is a great Big Star. If anyone hasn't heard, it's a great country song from Kenny Chesney back in the day. That's like what I grew up on. So again, I said this in the Matt Mason episode, but country music has a special place in my heart. So this is going to be a fun one. So what was the show like? Tell me about that process. How old were you? Where were you at in your journey?
I was young and dumb and didn't have a clue what I was doing. I knew I didn't want to graduate graduate from college because if I graduated, I had to grow up and get a job. So I kept hanging around Bloomington. And I was doing landscape. I had a little landscaping company, and this gal I was working for, she's like, "Hey, you should enter this Kenny Chesney contest." And I was like, "Oh yeah, whatever." And so we entered it. I had no clue what a Battle of the Bands was, and got picked. Went over to Cincinnati, Ohio. Ended up winning this thing.
What would the process look like? You got picked. Like, did you have to audition? Did you have you in a band?
You had to submit your song to the local country radio station, B105 there in Cincinnati. Then they picked a top 4 people. We were one of the top 4.
Was it a original song?
Yeah, I sent in an original song because I'd already decided then. I was like, I don't want to be a cover band because that shelf life is only going to take me so far. I want to.
It's going to take you to Broadway, at Tootsie's playing covers, right?
And I just knew I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to try to write up my own songs and be my own thing. So we got picked. We went over there. I had no clue what a Battle of the Bands was. I'd never participated in one. But luckily they liked us and we got picked. We won. There was like a radio DJ, somebody from Kenny's group, somebody else, a local celebrity.
Kenny Chesney was not there.
No, he wasn't there. I was so bummed.
You're like, oh yeah, where's Kenny? Like, is he gonna hit me like a giant check? And it's like, oh, this is Kenny's like third publicist down the road there that's covering the Cincinnati territory.
Yeah, I was like, gosh dang it. But it was his sponsor guy, so it was cool. I actually got to learn a lot from him and got to be really close with him and figure out, okay, here's how this works on the marketing side of music. And Kenny's super, super smart. Kenny made so much money. I mean, that was a Corona Light deal that Kenny was getting paid for. And then also, I mean, we sold him at least 100 extra tickets when we won. So that's good marketing too. But yeah, we won. And then usually you had to play the night before or the night after. The Battle of the Bands would take place. Whoever won would then play the next night. For some reason, ours worked out that we had a whole month to wait it out. So I'm calling the radio station. I'm having all my friends call the radio station saying, play my silly little California Sunshine song, the first song I ever wrote. And son of a gun, on our way to the show that day, they played our song on one of the biggest country radio stations in the country, which is unheard of because it's just so hard to do because it's so controlled. And it was one of the greatest times of my life. We got to go.
So you're driving to Cincinnati, and like all of a sudden you're like, they're not going to play my song, and then you hear it start to come through the radio.
Yeah,
you crank that thing as loud as it goes.
Oh man, I had to go. We were blaring it, windows down, rolling across the river. I mean, I still got this Suburban. We were driving a Suburban and pulling a trailer, and it was just one of the greatest days. Honestly, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. It was the motivation, getting there, going backstage. I'd never been backstage at a show. Leanne Rimes comes out in a towel, and I'm like, oh wow, this is awesome. She's just taking a shower in the shower room. I'm like, this is great. This is awesome.
Like, this is exactly as I imagined it. Like where do I sign?
Yeah. So we were kind of out of the way. So much to take in. Kenny's so smart. He, everything to him has a purpose. Like there was a grill. They had a grill up on the side stage with a fan blowing it out to the crowd. I'll never forget it. There's burning charcoal just to make it smell like a tailgate, just to give that vibe and that sense. And I was like, this guy is genius. He's on another level. I want to be on this level. We got our 15 minutes of fame, got to play our songs, got off stage. Leanne Rimes plays. We were supposed to get to meet Kenny. I've never told anybody this, but I'll tell you. I'll drop it here because I've lied so many times. I told one person after the show. They were like, "Oh, so what was Kenny like?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't get a meeting." And then they were so disappointed for like that I didn't get to because I knew I was such a big fan that I just started lying to everybody. I was like, "Oh yeah, he was great. He was great." Because I didn't want him. I felt bad that person, my friend, was so bummed. I felt like I ruined their night. So I was like, "Oh yeah, it was awesome. It's great." But I don't know what happened. Like leading up to it, I was dreaming every night. I knew exactly what I was because the winner got to go out with Kenny and sing Tractor Sexy. So I knew exactly what I was going to do. I knew exactly how I was going to do it. I knew how I was going to cut back at Kenny, and I don't know if something happened and I never got an answer, but I think something happened right before our show. I don't know if someone embarrassed him and went out there and didn't know the words, or really messed up because there were a couple bands that won that weren't country. So I don't know. And honestly, it was such a big bummer. But the event of playing, being on that size stage, being at Riverbend Amphitheater, that was motivation.
That was your first show?
Yeah, well, no. We've been playing the Bluebird and small clubs,
but like a big show. I mean, how many people are at Riverbend that night?
It's 15,000 people. I think when we played, there was only probably about. I mean, we played as soon as the gates opened. There weren't a lot of people, but
still you're on the stage.
Yeah, I mean, my gosh, I mean, this is what you dream of. I'd seen concerts there, so that was the really big motivation. And after that show, I sat down with my dad and I was like, "Look, I got to try this. I don't want to be a grumpy old man, but the motivation to get back on that stage to that level, motivation to be like, man, I want to get there where I can meet Kenny one day and then retell him this story." So that was the big the big push to leave Indiana.
It's funny how that all ends up working. Like, I feel like the higher up you get, like, meeting celebrities or whatever, and it's like they're just like the schedule is always the schedule, and it's never. I mean, or then you meet them and they're like, oh, you're just like a normal person, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there's not like some magical thing that happens when you meet Kenny Chesney or whoever, and it like changes your life forever.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, you. And they actually probably prefer it. The best thing I've ever, like the best advice was like, just treat them like normal people.
Yeah.
And like, don't be a fan. Yeah. Just be like, oh, what's up, dude?
Yeah. I'm sure he's a regular guy. I mean, I've heard only great things. Like he's such an awesome guy and treats everybody incredible. His team, his crew, the guys that songwrite for him. But yeah, well, it'll happen one day.
Yeah. So you leave Indiana, and I mean, there's only one place you got to go, right?
Yeah, it was Nashville, and I found out a rude awakening that there's signs that say no soliciting, and it truly means no soliciting. We went around town all day, passing out our music, passing out everything, and then a guy from my hometown that I grew up loving, he was playing this club that we had been to earlier. And all I knew about music at the time was you just play shows. You play shows. I knew nothing about the record business side of it. So we end up going back, seeing my buddy. And at the end of the night, he's like, hey, Grimy, this place called The Basement. It's a pretty famous spot in Nashville. He's like, come meet my buddy. He was in here earlier. He dropped off his music and stuff. So Grimy, the bar owner, reaches in the trash can, pulls it out. Hadn't been opened, hadn't been anything. I'm like, oh my gosh, we just wasted our entire day going around this town. So that was a big rude awakening.
And you started to realize that like the relationships are what's going to matter.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was all music is all relationship business. It's networking. I mean, you got to network. It's all about meeting people, meeting the people you want to songwrite with, meeting people that run the labels, meeting people that's, you got to find a champion that's going to champion you and push you in town. There's just, especially when I first moved there were only so many slots. Like there's only so many slots you can get.
This is like 2009?
So I moved there. So I kind of danced around Nashville a little bit because I didn't know how to get my foot in the door. Ended up playing a show in Georgia. He's like, hey man, this drummer, he's like, hey man, I really like your music. I think you should contact my buddy, my old bandmate, who happened to be a guy from Evansville, Indiana, named Brian Kolb, who was Luke Bryan's roommate when they first moved to Nashville.
That'll work.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. So then I met Brian, and he was my big introduction to Nashville and really, really helped me a lot, made my first record. And then I moved there permanently. I mean, I was visiting. I was going in and out, but then I moved there in 2012.
2012?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get to Nashville, and what does life look like? Like, what are you doing? What is a day? Wake up on Monday morning and you're in Nashville and you're a musician.
Yeah. Went to Broadway, got hammered, woke up with my boots on, and I was like, what am I doing? I got to get my life straight. So really just started going out to songwriter nights. Nashville's built on songwriting, and there's songwriter nights all over town. Just started trying to meet people. Went to the BMI Songwriters Fest in Key West. Met a whole bunch of people from Florida Georgia Line to my buddy Jesse Rice, who's written a bunch of big songs.
I think that's an interesting piece that not a lot of people know, right? It's like there's, let's say at any given moment, 25 to 50 really big country stars, you know, like the Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs, whoever. But there is just this massive tree of writers that then like the songs get funneled up to them. And it's like you can kind of see sometimes some of the songwriters will play. That's where Chris Stapleton, like, wasn't that his entire career was built on songwriting? Yeah. And then he didn't just really start to like hum. He was in other bands, and then he started to perform on his own. And he's like, oh yeah, I've written all of these great songs. Yeah, he's hugely successful.
Everyone's like, oh, Chris Stapleton saved country music. Well, Chris Stapleton was writing the songs that you hate. So
yeah, right.
I mean, so you got it both ways. I mean, he was writing these mainstream country songs, and that's what you do. You go in, you want to cut, you want to get a song, you want to get a single on the radio. That's big money. That's millions of dollars.
So you go into these songwriting. They're kind of that's like what people in the business were like. They're networking events, right? They're coffee meetings, whatever. But you're going to songwriting events.
Yeah. So like Tin Roof at the time was popping. It was the spot to be. They had songwriter events during the evening.
What does the event look like?
It's just 4 or 3 guys up on the stool singing their songs. It's a songwriter round. So you'd start your song, I sing my song, next guy sings his song. But those were happening everywhere. My roommate at the time, she ran one of the biggest nights in town. And still does. It's called the Freak Show on Wednesday at the local. Go check it out next time you're in town.
There you go.
They're great events. I mean, she, by way of that, knew Ashley McBride, and they've written songs together. And Ashley McBride's now blown up. Lainey Wilson, same example, written songs for her now, blown up all through these writing events, writing show or songwriting events. So being in there, seeing someone, I like what they're doing. They're kind of similar to me. Let's try to write a song. It's awful, and it's really awkward at first. It's like really, I'd only written songs by myself. So then you go in and you're like trying to tell something emotional to a person across from you that you might not even know very well. And you just it just either comes to you. Sometimes it does. Sometimes you work hard on a song or whatever.
Does it start with, when you're writing a song? Does it start with the lyrics, or does it start with like the actual music itself?
It can start either way. I do it all kinds of different ways. Sometimes I have an idea. Sometimes my buddy said something stupid, and I'm like, oh man, that's a song. Sometimes maybe I have this whole story and don't know how to put it all together, so I just kind of talk it out, and then maybe this lyricist really helps me iron it out. Sometimes I have the melody, sometimes I have the hook. Like In the Dark, I was like, she only likes it in the dark with a light, or I think it started out, she kisses in the dark, but then it moved into it just moves, you know, it just finds its own path, and then it kind of, songwriting's cool. It's pretty cool. It's frustrating, but it's really
kind of
cool.
like puzzle pieces, it seems, where like you have these little snippets of this, like, I want to put this like one chorus or this one line and then tell this story, and we could tie this in there, and then you jumble it and figure it out and put it all together.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's awesome. And they come to you at different times. I mean, you could be stuck for an hour, and it's like, let's go play golf, or let's like, it's not working. But that's where you really, I mean, like at the time, Tin Roof was the hot spot. I mean, Lee Brice was he was coming up. He had just had a big song. Jared Neiman was coming out with a record, and everybody was hanging there. So you just hang, and if you're a good hang and you're a good person, then hopefully you can kind of navigate your way in there.
You're 2012, you're going to these songwriter, but like, how are you affording to live in that? Like, how are you making money?
Well, I was playing shows, so I was constantly on the road. We were playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Luckily, the Tin Roof had just started opening up other places, and they offered me to go play. And
so this was because Tin Roof started in Nashville.
Yeah, so Tin Roof actually technically started in Atlanta, but it really blew up in Nashville, and then they opened one in Knoxville, Tennessee, one in Lexington. So we would make that round playing it, and then we would play elsewhere. We would play down in, I thought I had to get out of Indiana for some reason. I was like, we're popular here. We were playing a bunch of frat parties and a bunch of college parties and a lot of different stuff around here. But I was like, I've got to go south and see if people really like me for my stuff, not just for who I am. So we'd play in South Carolina. We were playing in Athens, Georgia. We were just playing every college town we could get into. And that's how I was making my money. And sometimes I look back, there's a blueprint. And when I first moved to Nashville, the blueprint was write songs, get someone to record it, and then you could possibly get a record deal. I knew I wanted to be an entertainer. I'm an entertainer. I want to be the entertainer. I want to sing. I want to play. And maybe if I look back on it, maybe I should have just focused more on the songwriting side. But I was like, man, I write songs for me. I'm not trying to write them for everybody else. So I didn't really fit that mode totally. But
it's kind of like your entry level job. Like you got to pay your dues, and you got to write songs and like give other people some bangers. And it's like that balance would be hard. Of like, man, do I really want to give my best stuff to somebody else? And if you don't, then you're not gonna rise because it won't be good. Man, that's hard.
I know, but you look back, that's how it happened. Like I mean, Luke Bryan, Billy Currington took his first big song, "Good Directions," like.
That was a Luke Bryan song?
Good directions and turnip greens. Yeah, that Luke Bryan wrote that song, I think all by himself. But Billy Currington made it a #1, which allowed Luke Bryan to have an opportunity to even get a record deal.
So you got to give away a #1 to get your own opportunity.
Yeah, and like Cole Swindell wrote a bunch of #1 songs for Luke Bryan. And then Cole Swindell ramps his way up into getting an opportunity, which he had a great song. His first song out was a huge thing.
Yeah.
So.
But if you go the route, it's like, no, I'm writing these for me. I'm going to perform. And this is pre the social media era as well. Like it was like Instagram Reels, where you could get tons of exposure.
Yeah.
Wasn't really happening yet.
No, it's YouTube. You had to, and we had our first, when we put out my first single, Summer Sun, it was doing, it was great. At the time, it kind of went, it really kind of took off and went viral.
You have 60,000 YouTube subscribers. Like that's not nothing.
Yeah, it's okay. We gotta get more. I gotta get. That's a crazy thing. There has been a change, and from what I started, it was all grassroots.
You need to shake hands and kiss babies.
Yeah. Now it's like and I keep trying to figure this out. Like how can I take what we do, which I've always been told our live shows are our best thing. How can I get that to come through on the phone? And
who has like really done that well? Oh my gosh, what is his name? He does like the country mashups, the rap ones.
He crushes it.
He played a show here, Cooper Allen.
Yeah, he's crushing it.
Dude, he's got like millions, and it's like he is built solely off of TikTok, solely off of Instagram. But then I went to his show. He played the Mill out in Terre Haute.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, is this guy phenomenal? He's an entertainer. And that's just like, I think the vibe is, if you're an entertainer, it's like be entertaining on the camera, be entertaining in person. He's doing like, he adds in some like Colt 45 country mashup on stage. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. But yeah, entertainer. So like that's like one, figuring out how to do that. It's just like you got to continuously like learn new tricks.
When he started doing that at first, I was like, man, is this gonna work? Is it gonna? Because it's like anybody can do a mashup. It's not that hard. He does it incredibly well. I'm not gonna say we mash up songs all the time, but like, is it going to stick? And then, because the hardest part is how I think is how do I get someone to buy into what I'm doing, what I'm saying, what I'm singing about? Here's my original songs. But Cooper's showing that, man, you can kind of be not serious. Yeah, because you would take that maybe it's not so serious, and
like change the way that people perceive you. Because at first it's like, okay, I don't know his name is Cooper Allen. I know that he is the mashup, the Colt 45 country guy, and he did a lot of those. But like it was top of brand awareness, and then he started to like find a way to incorporate his own music in there, and it took a little bit. But like he's got some decent songs, like some pretty good ones. He's got some bangers that he played when we were out there and saw material, and the show was just fun. But like he packed it out. Yeah, I guess like Sycamore country out there love Cooper Allen.
And at the end of the day, in music, the way you make your money is selling a ticket, and that's the hardest thing to do is to sell a ticket. And if you're selling tickets, I don't care if you're doing mashups or dance, whatever you're doing, you're winning. And whoever has the biggest ticket draw is going to get pushed and be king at the end of the day.
Yeah. So you ended up getting a record, or like putting out a record, right?
Yeah.
How long had you been in Nashville at that point?
We started working on it before I got there. So I think it came out in 2000, about the same time I moved there. And I thought, oh man, we're going to get, I thought it was awesome. It's called Torn Jeans and Tailgates. I was like, there's no way we're not going to get a record deal on this record. And I did the rounds, kind of went around, and the label that Florida Georgia Line ended up signing with met with a whole bunch of different publishers. Never really a record label, but a bunch of publishers, and just didn't get a bite. Everybody's like, oh man, you sound like Luke Bryan. We've already got that. Then I was warned, well, if they're saying that, you better be careful who you sign with, because they could just put you on the shelf and keep you from competing or trying to, since they already have it. But that was a real bummer. That was like, man, what am I going to do? And I had all these records that we bought. I bought them myself as just independent. So I was like, I got to sell them. So we just went out again playing shows. I would go knock on fraternity, sorority doors and be like, hey, can I serenade you? So I just take my guitar in and then sell CDs and moved them. And we moved a bunch. I mean, I sold all of them, so that was good. But
Wait, you just bought 1,000 CDs or whatever?
Oh, I bought a lot more than that. And I had to get rid of them, I had a lot of money.
So you're just like kind of like a door-to-door.
I'm a door-to-door salesman. I'm a vacuum salesman.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But it's like you talk about like the grind to get to like to make something, to bring your dream to life.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a lot of people are willing to like, put out a few things on clips on TikTok or whatever. But are you willing to go knock on doors in Bloomington and play fraternity houses and try to get broke college kids to spend $15 on a CD? Like that's a grind.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of work. You got to have a lot of nerve, to do it.
But it's at the end of the day, if entertaining people is what like your North Star is, like I just love doing that. It's like you're getting the opportunity 10 times a day if they let you in the door.
Absolutely. And it taught me so much because to take your guitar in and win a bunch of people who don't know who the heck you are and to grab their attention, it really helped me improve my our capability of reaching people.
It's kind of like when a stand-up comic, like they test their material at like random shows. They stand up for 5 minutes and like give a little thing and they're like, okay, that joke doesn't work. It's like you're trying different things in those environments, or people love when I do this, like cool, we need to put that into the main show.
Yeah it's you just sample it a little bit. Does this work? Does this not work? How's it go? It's always, I'm constantly still today trying different things.
So, I mean, you've had some very successful songs that have like done really well, and you talked about how you are in and out of a record label right now.
I'm in a record deal snare right now. So I got trapped in. I wanted to. It goes back to my whole thing. I didn't want to be a grumpy old man on the front porch saying "What if" one day. Took the money that I had saved up, put my own radio team together, and we were going to go with a song that we all thought was a great radio song. And then COVID hit right when we were coming out with it, and so I was like, "Oh, do I get any of that money back?" They're like, "No, it's spent." And so it just totally, the floor just collapsed under me, and I was like, man, I was broke. I was really, really broke. And
so wait, take it. So you put all the money into putting out a radio song, and like, it was going to get pushed up to secondary country, or like
we were going to start a secondary radio market and then see where it went, and if we could get some to a certain point. And I was going to try to bring some investors on, and then we would try to run it up. Terrestrial
Which
radio.
song was it?
Drinking in a Hotel Room, I think, because it was Panama City. We had a whole thing around Panama City, and we had that one and a song of mine called Tennessee. Those were going to be the two, and we had this big campaign with Southwest. We were going to fly people down to Panama City, and it was all set up. And then COVID hit the week it was supposed to happen, and it was like, man. Kicking the
and it all comes down to money there. It's like you saved all this money, you put all this money into it, and it's like you can get a song on the radio if you just put enough money into it, and it's decent.
The song has to be good.
Yeah.
The song, you have to have a good song. You can't just, it's illegal to payola is not. But yeah, it costs money to build the right team to then run your song up the chart. The more you want to go, the better. It's kind of like racing. The more money you put into it, the better the car is. So it's a tough game, and so I lost everything. It was kind of in a pickle, and then a great opportunity. I thought it was a great opportunity. It was a great opportunity. It was an incredible opportunity that presented itself in 2021. I didn't have any. I'd always been independent, and this indie label popped up. A gal that I'd been working with, who's one of the top female execs ever in country music, said, I think this might be a really good fit for you. I took my mind off. I didn't want to go the radio route anymore. I was seeing that my niece was singing all these old songs, and she was learning them from Guardians of the Galaxy and TV shows she was watching. So I was like, I want to focus on getting my songs in streaming and in a show. Even recently, Stranger Things blew up that old Kate Bush song. Made it the biggest song of the year.
Hill.
Yeah.
Fire.
Made it the biggest song of the year that year. Most streamed on Spotify. So I was like, I want to do that. This group, a gal that was working at this indie label had that capability of making that happen, and got over there, signed, everything felt really good. Got sync placements right away. Got a Ford truck commercial, which was the most money I'd ever made on a song. Got a bunch of ESPN
college
placement.
baseball stuff, right?
Yeah,
I saw that.
Got an ESPN
Wait,
placement.
like a national Ford truck commercial?
Yeah, national.
So like you're
Ford
just
truck.
watching like Built Ford Tough, and you're just like, what song was in the background?
Let's get after it.
Yeah.
Whatever you got, bring it on. So that's playing while it's going on. I mean, I about fell. We were actually out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, playing a show, and we're taking an Uber to the thing, and it comes on the radio. I'd never heard it on the radio, so I flipped out and had to turn that up.
And the Uber driver is like, dude, don't touch the dash. And you're
Yeah.
like, this is my song.
Yeah, and when people
And he's
say,
like, Built Ford Tough.
and the way streaming is today, like everyone streams, but there's still nothing cooler than hearing your song on the radio or television or seeing it wherever. It's
Yeah.
like, oh man.
So
that's
you're
cool.
so you're in there and you're starting to make some money.
Yeah,
Like, but
yeah.
in a non-traditional way, I would say.
Yeah. And I've always thought outside the box. I've always tried to think outside the box. Your Love's Like Country Music was a song that I dropped in 2014 all by myself, and it just happened. This thing called Spotify was new, and they put it on their biggest playlist, and it changed. That really helped me a bunch as I saw the power of streaming and where it was going. But then the record labels took it over. It's all music's tough, man. It's just controlled. You have to be so good, and that's what I love about the capability of social media now, is that if you're clever enough, smart enough, keep working at it enough, find your thing, your shtick, you can do it. You can blow it up. I've been kind of hogtied. I've got all these fun things that I want to do, but sour leadership from the top.
Because you're signed with this indie label.
Yeah, sorry, I'm rambling.
No, I love it. I love it. We're here for it.
Should have drank some coffee.
People come in the studio and always ask me, what's that smell? It's the Blueberry Cobbler candle from Warm Glow Candle Company in Centerville, Indiana. This is the Hoosier Candle Company. These are hand-dipped candles, hand-dipped right here in Indiana. Some of their most popular scents are Evening Mocha, Caramel Corn, Homespun Harvest, and of course, the Blueberry Cobbler. When you're driving east on I-70, you have definitely seen their huge candle and their shop where you can stop by, or you can shop online at warmglow.com, support an Indiana company, and check out Warm Glow. Now let's get back into the episode. It's kind of the trade-off, right? You sign with this label, but you get some immediate, get paid.
Oh yeah, so they funded the record, they funded everything. Everything was amazing. Like everything was going I was like, I couldn't have a better partnership in this thing. They agreed to spend more money to make the record because they believed in the song. We got one of the best guys in town to mix it. Like all these awesome things. Made some cool videos. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. I'm still not for sure what happened, but leadership down. I think they ran out of money. I'm not for sure. And then things started falling apart. People weren't getting paid. People were being siloed. I mean, they have a song of mine that's the best song I've ever written that's sitting in their hands right now that I can't even do anything with. And
no, wait.
Yeah.
So the best song you've ever written
it's one of them.
Is currently on the shelf at this record label.
Yeah, and they don't know what they're doing. I mean, they don't even have a team. I don't
Like if they and also like this is not uncommon that I feel like artists don't love the label that they sign with.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, do they hear? Let's say I'm not sure if they're ever gonna find, but let's say they come listen to this. Like,
Yeah.
what's their feedback gonna be?
I don't know. They don't. I mean, I'm just speaking the truth right now. I've sent them. We file. I don't know. I can't even talk about it. But
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow.
Hopefully I'll be out. I don't know. I mean, it's just I don't know what's going on. I feel like they've just dangled me as a carrot, trying to get more investors to come on or something. I don't know. But everyone's quit. Everyone's resigned. There's no team. There's I think one person running the ship over there right now.
But you're under contract, and your best song is currently sitting in
I'm
limbo.
under contract because they picked up an option. I made them enough money that they picked up an option record on the very last day they could pick it up, which really made me mad. I'm like, you're stalling. You wasted 6 months of time we should have been working. Like that's the old model. The new model is release, constantly hitting people on social media.
And it's like, it's not what have you done that's great. It's what have you done for me lately.
Yeah. And people forget. I mean, you got to be on the top of people's minds nonstop. And So I got really depressed because it's what I've always done for the last 10 years.
And
12
it
years.
seems as though like things start to turn around, and then I mean that's life, right? There's adversity that comes through, and with your seasons, and that has to be hard, especially being a creative.
Yeah, it's like, and it's the entrepreneurial roller coaster, but it's like, man, come on, like what or just the honesty or transparency, like what is going on over here? And they had a great team. I mean, they'd built an incredible team. I just don't think the team was utilized correctly. Looking back at it now, mismanagement,
Classic.
lot of mismanagement from the top
So you're
down.
going through a tough time there, right? And
Huge.
when do ideas start formulating of like you got to make a move, you got to do something, you got to keep going, and obviously we teased at the beginning, but like getting into the bar and restaurant space, how did that opportunity present itself?
Well, kind of sitting around going, what am I going to do? Am I going to be trapped in this forever? To get out of it, I'm going to have to fight this in court, obviously, and then man, that's going to suck up a lot of money. Probably
That seems expensive.
Yeah, it's very the last step. I've tried. I mean, we've tried for over a year and a half to not go to court. It's just not getting anywhere. So I've always thought that it would be cool. I mean, Nashville had, everyone's opening their bars with their names on it or whatever. And there had been a couple of people come to me and were interested in doing that. And then it kind of fizzled out and those talks just stopped. Last Labor Day, a guy I'm partnered with currently came up and was like, hey, maybe you and I just do this together. And the talks went from there. And the more I was sitting at home not doing anything, I was like, man, this might be the best time to try to dabble in something. I've spent half my life in a bar anyway, so why not?
Might not own the bar, right?
Why not make it my own? And so that was the perfect. Perfect time. This record deal snare presented itself as a perfect time for me to pursue something else.
So you're sitting around a bar, you're like, yeah, let's do this. Look, what had to happen for this to come to life?
Trying to figure out our roles. It's been a lot more work than I even thought it was going to be, to be honest. I mean, I want it to succeed. I mean, I'm putting my name on it. So
yeah,
that's the biggest, that's the scariest thing, really.
You can always lose money and make money back, but like reputation and brand.
Yeah.
Like that is the ultimate currency, right? Like, so you want to make it something that's special, and it's one of one in Indy. So you have the opportunity. Like the opportunity presents itself to make it spectacular and awesome, and the best country western bar in Indiana.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's not.
I want it to be. I want it to smack people in the. I want people to be like, oh wow, why do I need to go to Nashville when I can just stay right here and I'll just pop into Indianapolis and check it out right here.
And like, it's the one downtown is going to be like around the corner from Wild Beaver.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I mean, right, kind of in that little country music corridor.
Yeah,
depending on the night at Tin Roof.
I think it could be awesome, and I think Tin Roof is so successful. Wild Beaver is packed all the time.
If they could honestly fill it Wild Beaver on the right Saturday night. Triple the space.
Oh yeah,
and maybe then I could like put my elbows above my like shoulder. It's bad,
it
but it's awesome. It's amazing. It's amazing, but that's good. Like that's the sign of a thriving bar, and it's a very small space, and they have to, do very well. You're going to be down there just a little bit west and on that corner, right? What's it called? The Morrison Opera House.
We're going to be it's right on the corner of Meridian and Maryland Street on the east side, northeast side of that corner, and it used to be the old Hard Rock. We're going to go in, and that's going to be more like a Broadway Nashville type bar. I kind of say more like the Stage kind of down there if you've ever been to that honky tonk. But I'm excited. I really have lofty goals. I want to bring. It's always been something I've wanted to do because I'm so proud of Indiana. I'm so proud to be from Indiana. When I'm in Nashville, I'm telling everybody about Indiana and all. I mean. You can find no bigger homer than me. I think this is going to be exciting that I can bring a little bit of Nashville back to Indiana. And we also have so much musical talent in this state. Hopefully it'll give people... Nashville's kind of getting a little washed out, like a little too saturated. There's too much. There's too many bars. People are bouncing around now. The guys that I know playing aren't making the money that they were 3 years ago because of the explosion and so many.
Yeah, because I can find someone who's 90% as good as you for 50% of the cost.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like a lot of young kids come and like, oh, shit, I do this for free. If it means I get if the right person might hear my song, like, dang.
Yeah.
So you're bringing some Nashville back to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
What can we expect in the downtown location?
So, we'll start off playing a lot. I'm going to play. I gotta get going first. I feel like I gotta play some and play a lot in the beginning. But we're going to have some slushy machines that I love. Everything's going to be something that I kind of love. Like we're trying to get the menu right now. My grandma's fried chicken. Hopefully get my mom's chicken and dumplings when it gets to the colder months of the year. I want it to be good food, not a lot of food. Short, very limited menu, but everything we have is incredible. And it makes you like, oh, I want to actually go eat that. Like I crave to eat it. And good food, good healthy food. Well, it might not be healthy when we put cheese on, but
right. Like that comfort food though.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone, if you have spent time in, I'd say outside of Marion County and the donut counties, right? If you spent time out there, everyone's got a grandma that's got like really good chicken noodle soup or fried chicken or something with chicken that's like, it's not necessarily healthy in the sense of like you're not going to gain weight, but it's healthy in the sense that it's like real and like just makes you feel good for the soul.
That's right. It'll thicken you up a little bit sometimes, but no, it'll be good. We want to do that, and then we want to have. I've got some, taking things from my "Show Me Your Fish" song. We want to have a "Show Me Your Fish" wall where you can bring your fish in and put it up. Oh, you holding your fish if you want to,
like a pictures.
Yeah, take your pictures, and then. I've got a song called "Beer on a Boat," so we're going to do "Beer on a Boat" shot skis, and so that'll be fun.
Like other kind of memorabilia, like so obviously it's a country, it's it's a honky tonk type bar.
Yep.
What's going to be up on the walls? What can we expect for that?
Oh, we're going to have a little bit of everything. I'm going to have a little space of my junk that I've collected over the years. I want to give odes to Indiana as well. It's coming together, so I don't want to jinx anything, but we're going to have some really cool. I mean, Indiana's the boot state, so we got to give a little bit of the, it kind of looks like a boot, so we'll go country western there. But we're going to have great bands. We're going to have full bands, and we're going to be consistent. There's going to be bands all the time. We're not going to.
So live music.
Hopefully we're going to have some type of live entertainment every night during the week. As long as we can,
some type of live entertainment. That's like that could be. What are the different besides like a band or a singer?
We could do acoustic. We could do. I want to do a honky tonk piano type vibe, sing along. Not like a piano, dueling piano, but like just a honky tonk piano in the corner, maybe.
Oh, like someone just like playing like instrumental type stuff.
Yeah, and then sing along. Have them sing along if they want to. Maybe we can turn it into like a bar sing along because I love going to Ireland and how they do their bar sing alongs over there. So kind of taking everything that I've experienced from all over the place. Like I want fried bologna sandwiches in there because Robert's in Nashville is my favorite, and they serve the best fried bologna sandwich I've ever had. So just taking my favorite things from all over the country that I've been able to experience and bring them to Indianapolis.
So that's the downtown location.
That's the downtown
and then
location.
This is the best name of maybe any bar that I've ever heard. So you're doing Clayton's Ripple Rodeo. But yeah, basically right in our neighborhood here in Broad Ripple.
Yeah.
What can we expect from that?
Now that is going to be a cowboy western themed bar. And it's a lot smaller than the downtown is such a big location. I'm nervous on the fact that it's so big. If people like to feel tight but the Ripple Rodeo is going to be a lot smaller. It's only like 114 person cap, and it's going to be more like the downstairs of Tootsie's. If you've ever been in that bar, band will be up in front in the window and play towards the back of the bar. So much smaller. I would love to do some 90s country nights, do some different things like that. Really mix it up and just hee haw around in there.
Is it open? Like what kind of? Is it like booths? Is it like
we're gonna have
dance floor?
We're gonna have a boot wall there. It's not a dance floor. It'll be like a saloon type, just long bar, narrow bar. When you think of Tootsie's, you go in, that band's playing. There's some people seated along here, so when it's not too crowded. Would love to be consistent, and obviously you got to figure out. It depends. When I'm saying we want to be consistent, we want to do these things. It's really up to our customers if they are up to have that. So it'll really be relevant on them of their participation.
Is the downtown location more of like it's going to be open till 3 a.m. like late night spot?
Yeah.
And then this one up here, it's still probably open, but more of like the sit down bar type feel. You listen to live music.
Yeah, I think so. Unless we get it too crowded, then we'll pull out the chairs. And I mean, we've got a little VIP corner. It's going to be called the Cowboys Corner. And we're going to have the Mount Rushmore of my favorite Cowboys named John Wayne, Sam Elliott, Clint Eastwood, and Mr. Kevin Costner.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Cowboys Corner.
Yeah, Cowboys Corner. And then we got a big nice painting that a gal painted me, Andy, here in town, and then we've got the Lone Ranger. We've got Roy. We got all the great Cowboys. So that's going to be Cowboy Corner, and you can rent that as like the VIP booth, which I think is kind of fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
And then so talking about Cowboys Corner.
Yeah.
I do have a bet.
Yeah.
Are you interested? Are you a wagering man?
You know, I can't wager on sports because I love sports too much. But
that's fair.
I don't mind doing a small wager.
So I did this with Randy Lewandowski, the CEO of the Indians, the Indianapolis Indians, and I said, Randy, how many views do I have to get for me to throw out the first pitch?
Yeah. I saw that.
I'm talking about you talked about the Cowboys Corner. A 3-inch by 1-inch named booth.
Yeah.
In the Ripple Rodeo. I'll be a regular. It's right across the street.
Yeah.
How many views does this clip have to get for a named booth in the Ripple Rodeo?
I don't know. Should we say 1 million? Is that too much? Where are we at? Half a million?
500,000?
500,000.
So if this video gets 500,000 views, I get a named booth at the Ripple Rodeo right here in Broad Ripple, Clayton's Ripple Rodeo.
Yep, we'll do it.
That's a pretpretty fair wage. Oh, handshake agreement.
It's done.
Boom, baby. All right, I have to make that video pop. Because it's like, one, I've been saying, and as my friend Brooks, he's a listener, he will validate. We've been saying a place to listen to country music. Yeah. Like even if it was live most of the time, but just like where they put country music on and just let me hear it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll have a curated playlist. I know Touch Tunes and everything's really popular, but I don't even want to take the chance. I want to curate the playlist, make sure the vibes are immaculate, and everything. I keep preaching this too. It's like I want culture. And it's not even about service. I want hospitality. I want you to come in and feel awesome to be there. I want to come in and feel awesome myself. You know, it's like, man, I'm really happy to be here. What else I'm excited? I was so bummed because we were actually supposed to. Our goal was to open today, and I don't know when this is coming out. But David Lee Murphy's playing in town tonight. Who I songwrite with him a lot. So he's
no way.
He's like, man, I'll come by your bar and get up and sing a couple songs. So this is also what I'm excited about, is to bring my friends when they're in town. You just never know who might show up, who might pop through, who might come through, which has always been the Nashville thing. You know?
Dude, this is literally like a dream. Like, you know, someone plays at Ruoff and they're like, oh, where's like the place to come hang out? And it's like maybe it's not the one downtown. Maybe it is some nights it's the one downtown, but it's like the little like dive bar, country, small saloon in Broad Ripple. It's like you're in the neighborhood. It's like, oh yeah.
Could you imagine seeing a tour bus pull up out front there? You know,
well, they pull them up the Vogue right here, man.
Yeah.
Then we just get them involved, and it's like a little like we get a nice small venue country concert happen at the Vogue over there.
Yeah. Getting people to come to Broad Ripple it's been a challenge, you know, lately, but. With all the investment that the town's done, or whatever you call it, municipal, whatever it is, I feel like it's a perfect time to make Broad Ripple great again, of what I remember Broad Ripple as a kid coming up here and experiencing.
There is a lot of people, both private and public sector, that have vested stakes in this place, you know, reviving a little bit. And it was a little bit of a rough patch there. I mean, I've been out recently. It's not bad. Like, I don't feel, it's definitely safe. I think the issue is now getting people. Like, we got to bring people back here. Because, I mean, I like, my whole life is in like 8 square blocks probably, and I love it. I think Broad Ripple is sweet. You can walk down, it's a little like friendly neighborhood. So, like I said, when can we expect the places to open?
Hopefully pretty soon. We're definitely it's going to definitely be this spring. Just kind of waiting. Renovations kind of is kind of what that is. The Broad Ripple one will definitely open before the one downtown.
Can we expect like a big honky tonk, like neon?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
Wink, wink. Yeah. I love it, dude. Well, we're coming down to the end of the show. I have a few fun segment questions to ask you here. The first one is a sponsored question. It's brought to you by our friends at Orr Fellowship. They're a great organization here in Indiana, helping develop young business leaders across the state. Clayton, what advice would you give to your 22-year-old self?
Stop playing guitar all night long on your couch and go to chemistry class in the morning. No, life is about relationships. Work to build your relationships. Work to build your circle of people, and that will help you so much more than anything else in life.
We have some fun questions here at the end. Best venues to watch a country show, best venues to play a country show in Indiana.
Well, my favorite's Lake James out on the sandbar, but not the easiest to get to if you can't. But man, I tell you what, I think the White River Lawn downtown is just fantastic. We got to play there last year, and it was just so. It's just so easy to get in and out of, and there's not a bad seat in the house. But also getting to play Farm Aid a couple years ago at Ruoff was pretty sick too. So
yeah, 23.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That was by far the coolest thing I ever got to do. I mean, Bob Dylan was there, for crying out loud.
Yeah,
it's cool as crap.
Okay, so those are cool to play. Is there one that you love to go and experience a show at?
Yeah, I like smaller places like the White River Lawn. I like going to the Vogue, even checking out a show when they have somebody that I like to see. I think there's a new one coming downtown, and I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. I think it's a Live Nation venue, but they opened one up in Nashville that was sick, about 3,500.
Well, they got
so
funds to Live Nation. There's one thing they're doing is in Ticketmaster.
Actually, Brown County is a fantastic. It sounds incredible, and there's not a bad seat in there. You don't have to stand for. I mean, they do a lot of older acts.
ZZ Top's coming to town in like a month.
Are they really?
I was like, ZZ Top is like, they're playing like a pretty big venue in Cincinnati, I think, and then playing Brown County Music Center. It's awesome. Yeah. I love that. Is there a local artist that's like up and coming that you want to plug?
I love them all. I love my buddy Jake Dodds, Hank Ruff, anybody out there. And honestly, that's kind of what I'm excited too about this is hopefully it will allow me to help other artists of giving them a place to play. I want to promote more Indiana things. It's when I first moved to Nashville, everybody was from Georgia, and all they help each other. They help. One. It's like, okay, I'm going to pull this guy. Made it now, so I'm going to pull this guy up and sign him to a thing. And
it's like a little clique, like Georgia.
Yeah,
And
I'm like, why not Indiana?
That is the thing. Well, you know who you need when they come back in town is Stephen Wilson Jr.
Yeah, he's
gotta
amazing.
Get him up.
You know what's crazy? He was when I was a freshman. And I went to see their. I loved their band. He was in a rock and roll band called Autobahn, and they were amazing when I was in college. And I mean, like the Killers type vibe, and so sick. It's funny because his wife, Lee Nash, who's the lead singer of Sixpence None the Richer, she was signed to this indie label group as well that I was on, and I got to befriend Steven, and I was like, man, because I left my guitar back. They accidentally got one of my guitars one night, and I was like, oh no, I'm never going to see this guitar again. I opened up for him at the Bluebird or something. I was not very good at the time, and they sure enough, they brought it back around and dropped it off. They were playing there's a band called American Bang, and now they're called Cadillac 3, and but it's,
I've heard of them.
It's awesome to see what he's been doing, because I'd heard these songs a couple years back, and he was playing. We'd have jams at our friend's house, and
well, he's got such a unique sound. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just had the Jenny, she's a CEO 45, like they own the Vogue and do all those booking, whatever, and she was like, it's just painful in the best way. Like it just sounds like it just hurts. It hurts hurts so good, right? there you go. Man,
he's amazing though. He is, the way he plays that nylon string guitar. He's so the dude is so talented.
Amen. Is there one? You've been performing for a long time. If you had to pick one show, that specifically stands out in your mind as like the best show, the most proud you've been, what was that show?
Probably this show we played at the White River Lawn last November. It was
November at the White River Lawn.
I always dreamed of having a really big band behind me. We use tracks because you just got to keep things economical. I don't want I can't afford to have a keys guy with me all the time, but I might as well put in the track to make it fill the song up. So that was just an awesome, epic night of being sucked into the music. I'll never forget that one.
That's a good one. All right, final 3 questions we ask everyone who sits in the chair.
Okay.
First, what's something the world needs to know about Indiana?
It's the greatest state in all the land, that's for sure. I tell everybody everywhere I go that. My hometown being the limestone capital of the world, the Empire State Building came out of my backyard. We would go swimming in the hole as a kid. That was our swimming pool.
Well, you could like see it. It's there. Like, where all the limestone was mined?
Yeah. It's technically an oolitic, but it's Bedford says they're the limestone capital, but it's technically oolitic.
What's oolitic?
Oh, here's the one that everyone should know. Oolitic in the movie Hoosiers. Oolitic is the team that whoops the crap out of Hickory Huskers the first game, and Oolitic is a little town in Lawrence County, right north of Bedford, Indiana.
Wow.
Yeah. Home of Dan Bush, the great basketball coach.
Oolitic.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's fun. But so
people
Oolitic is the real capital, but Bedford claims it.
Yeah, it's pretty much all in Oolitic. But I love it when people come down. I stop at a gas station. This guy's like, "You know where Oolitic is?" And I'm like, "Oolitic? Where? Anybody know where Oolitic is?" So yeah, it's Oolitic.
Oolitic. I love that. Okay, this is your chance to shout out a place that people need to know more about. Not well known.
Yeah.
What is a hidden gem in Indiana?
That is the Spring Mill State Park. I think it's a beautiful. I think Indiana has some of the most incredible state parks in all of the country. But Spring Mill State Park they have a pioneer village that's cool as crap. You can play in the creek, you can camp, you can do all these things. But I think that is a little hidden gem down there. And one more, the Jackson County Fair, greatest county fair in all the land I've ever been to.
That's down by, is that Brownstown?
Yes, Brownstown.
But they have an insane festival that's coming this fall, I believe. It's nuts. I think I don't know if that's the county fair or if it's the Watermelon Festival.
Maybe,
but one of those two.
They got a bunch of stuff down there. They got a huge German fest. They got a huge Oktoberfest. They do too. So
wow,
yeah.
How close is Seymour to?
We're neighbors. We're touching counties: Jackson County, Lawrence County. So about 20, 15, depending how fast you drive on 50.
There you go.
And here's another little hidden gem for you. Highway 50 runs through Lawrence County. Runs through smack dab of Bedford, Indiana, and that's the only highway that runs from East Coast to West Coast. One road, continuous road, doesn't stop. You can go from one coast to the next.
Highway 50.
Highway 50.
There's no other roads that do that?
That's the only one. That continuously.
Oh, without
Yeah, you can go from Chicago on 66 or whatever and get there, but from the Atlantic to the Pacific, Highway 50 is the only road that will continuously not stop.
Wow. Mm-hmm. All right, and the more you know, right?
Yeah, the more you know.
Yeah. A final question. This is where you get to share the love with someone out there who's doing big stuff. How we find a lot of our next guests. So, who is a Hoosier that we need to keep on our radar? Someone who's doing big things.
Caitlin Clark's changed the landscape. I mean, she's
a Hoosier. She's a Hoosier now.
As a Hoosier now, everywhere I go, everyone wants to talk about Caitlin Clark, and that's unbelievable.
People, you're in Tennessee, and they're like, yeah, whatever. But what about Caitlin Clark?
Yeah, they don't want to talk about Peyton Manning anymore. They want to talk about Caitlin Clark. It's honestly incredible what she's done for this town. And I mean, you could sit on the floor for $20 2 years ago, and now you can't even get a ticket. It's the hottest ticket in town. It's honestly unbelievable, and it made me really mad last year when all them girls were beating on her early in the season. But she's so great and classy, and everything she does is just spot on.
A true competitor. Mm-hmm. It's someone you want to root for. You have to root for.
Yeah. But I got so many friends doing some awesome things. I'd hate to name one and then forget the other, and then they get mad at me.
Why'd you say them, not me? Yeah.
But I think honestly, everywhere you go, there's somebody from Indiana that's doing something awesome. And it's really cool to see, and there's something that ties us all together. I don't know what it is, but it's really, 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 really awesome awesome to see that how we lift each other up, and I don't think you can find that in many other places.
Amen. All right, Clayton, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah.
We're really excited for your downtown location for the Ripple Rodeo to open, baby.
Cowboy up.
And you got, remember, 500,000 views on this clip.
Let's go.
And a 3-inch by 1-inch named booth in the bar, baby. Let's go. Appreciate all you've done and the way that you're a champion for the Hoosier State down in Nashville as you go around. I think that that you're a good marketing asset for the Hoosiers.
I appreciate it, and say a little prayer for me out there. Kenny Chesney's got a song of mine on hold, so if he records it, we'll make that full circle come all the way around. So that'd be pretty cool.
Kenny Chesney, if you happen to listen to the Get In podcast.
And I know he does.
Yeah, of course he does. Come on. All right. I love it, man. Well, I'm sure I'll see you soon at the Ripple Rodeo. That's where we're going to be hanging out at a lot. So appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Take it easy. Thank you for listening to this episode of Get In. If you like what you heard, make sure you leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. This show is made possible by our friends up at Sweetwater. Whether you're looking to start a podcast or take your content to the next level, click the link in the description to see all of my gear recommendations at sweetwater.com. If you want a behind-the-scenes look at everything we're doing across the state, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Nate Spangle. Thank you so much for listening and being part of what makes the Hoosier State great. We'll see you next time here on Get In.